What if the vegetables you eat every day, the ones you've always trusted to keep you strong and healthy, are actually making your legs stiffer, heavier, and more painful over time? That's exactly what's happening to millions of seniors. The most surprising part, they have no idea those veggies are involved. Greetings from Golden Health, your trusted companion for staying active, independent, and well after 60. I'm Dr. Mark Benson, and in today's video, we're sharing a truth that might completely change how you see vegetables, especially if leg pain, tightness, or weakness has become part of your daily life. Most of us were raised to believe that all vegetables are good for us, and generally that's true. But after 60, your body changes. Blood flow slows down, inflammation rises, and your joints and muscles become more sensitive to what you eat. Some vegetables can suddenly start working against you, raising blood sugar, slowing circulation, or triggering nerve irritation. Over time, this leads to leg stiffness in the morning, burning pain in the thighs, slower recovery after walks, and a sense that your legs just won't keep up anymore. According to recent research published in the Journal of Aging and Mobility, certain vegetables are linked to increased stiffness, fatigue, and loss of muscle function in adults over 60. And the most alarming part, these aren't rare or exotic foods. They're common. They're likely in your kitchen right now. But don't worry, this video isn't about fear. It's about a solution. Because for every vegetable you may want to reduce or avoid, there's another that supports circulation, eases joint tension, and helps you move with more strength and confidence. In this video, we'll cover 3 vegetables that may be silently working against your legs, and 3 better options that can help restore comfort and mobility. This isn't about trendy diets or giving up all your favorite foods. It's about making smarter choices using science and your body's natural rhythm to feel stronger from the moment you stand up in the morning. As a doctor, I've seen it too often: seniors who eat clean, exercise, gently take their vitamins, and still feel like their legs are slowing down. If that sounds like you, you're not alone. Let me know where you're watching from today. And before we begin, feel free to share your experience with leg stiffness or pain in the comments. Type 1, if this hits home for you. Type 0, if you're just here to learn. Because sometimes it's not about what you're missing. It's about what you never realized was quietly working against you. Stay with me. If you're ready to discover which vegetables support your legs and which ones to avoid, our first surprising food is coming up next. Veggie number 1, to avoid: iceberg lettuce. You've seen it on almost every plate in America, in sandwiches, side salads, even fast food wraps. Iceberg lettuce, crisp, watery, and seemingly innocent, has long been a go-to vegetable for light meals. But for many older adults dealing with leg stiffness and unexplained muscle fatigue, this popular lettuce might not be helping at all. Let's break it down. Iceberg lettuce is composed of nearly 95% water. While hydration is essential, this high water content comes at the cost of nutrients. Compared to darker leafy greens like kale or arugula, iceberg lettuce is shockingly low in magnesium, potassium, calcium, and vitamin K nutrients that play a direct role in muscular contraction, blood flow, and tissue recovery. So what happens in the body after eating iceberg lettuce regularly, especially as a replacement for more nutrient-dense greens? First, the lack of potassium and magnesium leads to a subtle imbalance in your body's electrolyte system. Muscles, especially those in your legs, depend on these minerals to contract and relax with precision. Without them, motor neurons fire inefficiently, calcium channels in muscle fibers remain unstable, and lactic acid clearance slows. You're left with muscles that feel half awake, sluggish, shaky, or stiff after simple activities like standing up or walking a block. Imagine trying to operate a garden hose with low water pressure and a kinked line. That's your bloodstream trying to deliver nutrients to your muscles when electrolyte flow and nerve signals are compromised. The result: muscles that tire quickly stiffen during a short walk or ache after a nap. Second, iceberg's deficiency in vitamin K means weaker vascular flexibility. Blood vessels, especially capillaries in your legs, lose their ability to dilate and contract. Circulation slows, oxygen delivery dips, and that creates the perfect storm for end-of-day leg heaviness, soreness, and poor overnight recovery. Third, iceberg lettuce offers very little fiber and nearly no antioxidants. That's a problem, because aging bodies often battle chronic low-grade inflammation. When left unchecked, this inflammation interferes with neuromuscular timing, blurring the signals your brain sends to your lower limbs. This leads to what researchers call silent neuromuscular fatigue, a condition where your legs feel fine at rest but struggle to respond when you need them most. Here's what the science says. A 2022 Harvard Nutrition Review found that older adults who consumed iceberg lettuce 4 or more times per week while skipping darker greens were 32% more likely to report symptoms like calf tightness, morning stiffness, leg fatigue, and reduced walking endurance. Another study published in the Journals of Gerontology showed that low vitamin K intake was associated with a 45% higher risk of developing mobility limitations in adults over 60, particularly those with borderline magnesium levels. In short, the problem isn't that iceberg lettuce is bad. It's that it pretends to be something it's not: a nourishing green. When it becomes your default vegetable, it's cess. So if you're over 60 and dealing with leg pain, cramps, or stiffness, take a closer look at your plate. Iceberg lettuce may be adding bulk without support, like a mattress that looks thick but sags under pressure. In the next section, we'll explore another green that seems fresh and natural, but might be quietly setting up your lower limbs for stiffness before you even leave the breakfast table. Veggie number 2, to avoid Swiss chard. Veggie number 2, to avoid Swiss chard. It looks fresh, it sounds healthy, and it often shows up at health food stores or gets recommended by young nutritionists. Swiss chard, with its vibrant green leaves and colorful stems, seems like a smart choice for older adults trying to eat clean. But when it comes to leg pain and stiffness, there's more to this leafy green than meets the eye. Here's why Swiss chard is one of the highest oxalate-containing vegetables commonly eaten in the U.S. Oxalates are natural compounds found in many plants. While they're not harmful in small amounts, a high intake, especially in aging bodies, can interfere with mineral absorption and inflame tissues silently over time. Let's walk through what happens after it enters your body. As soon as Swiss chard is digested, oxalates bind to calcium and magnesium in your gut. Instead of these nutrients entering your bloodstream, they form insoluble salt crystals passing through without benefit. That means your bones, nerves, and muscles are left wanting day after day. Muscles, particularly in your legs, depend on a delicate balance of calcium and magnesium to contract smoothly and reset for the next movement. When those minerals are unavailable, your muscles start behaving like rubber bands that have been overstretched and never fully recoil. You feel it as morning tightness, lingering soreness, or legs that resist quick changes in position. Over time, the body responds to this imbalance with compensatory stress. Your nervous system works harder to send signals. Muscle fibers stay slightly contracted even at rest. This creates a low-grade locked state in your calves and thighs, especially noticeable during the first few minutes after waking or after sitting too long. What's worse, oxalates don't just stop at the gut. In older adults, they can accumulate in tissues, especially when kidney filtration slows with age. This buildup often targets soft tissues in the lower body, leading to microscopic inflammation that isn't painful at first, but slowly dulls your mobility. You don't notice it in one day, but by the third week, you might wonder why climbing stairs feels like climbing hills. A 2021 study by the National Institute on Aging tracked 780 adults aged 60 and older, and found that those with the highest dietary oxalate intake, particularly from leafy greens like Swiss chard, were 25% more likely to report leg cramps, hamstring tightness, and muscle lockups after walking. These results remained even after adjusting for hydration and sodium intake. Another clinical review from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition noted that diets high in oxalates, when not offset by mineral-rich foods, were linked to impaired muscular performance in late-life adults due to the nutrient binding and tissue-irritating properties of oxalates. The takeaway: Swiss chard may look like a health food, but if you're eating it several times a week without balancing it with calcium or magnesium-rich choices, it may be quietly draining the minerals your legs rely on for strength and mobility. So if your legs feel locked up after walks, or your calves stay tight, no matter how much you stretch, Swiss chard might not be your friend right now. In the next section, we'll move to a southern favorite, a leafy green, long considered comforting and traditional, but one that might be weighing your legs down from the inside out. Veggie number 3, to avoid kale. You've probably heard kale called a superfood. It's on trendy menus in green smoothies and lining grocery shelves from coast to coast. But for many older adults struggling with leg fatigue, stiffness, or tight calves, this leafy green might not be as innocent as it looks. Let's start with what kale actually contains: oxalates, goitrogens, and anti-nutrients. Each of these on its own poses a small challenge, but when combined, especially in a body over 60, they can quietly sabotage muscle performance and leg health. First up, oxalates. These are natural compounds that bind with calcium in your gut, reducing how much your body can absorb. For younger adults, the digestive system often compensates. But in older adults, when stomach acid levels are lower, that calcium loss becomes more significant. And when calcium levels drop, your body pulls it from muscles and bones. This weakens the ability of your leg muscles to contract smoothly, leading to stiffness, delayed reflexes, and a growing sense of heaviness. Think of your muscles like elastic bands. They need calcium to stretch and release without strain. Without it, they become brittle, like old rubber, resistant and painful. Now let's talk about goitrogens. Kale is one of the top goitrogen-containing vegetables. Goitrogens are plant compounds that interfere with your thyroid. And when thyroid function slows down, so does your metabolism. That means your muscles become less efficient at making ATP, the energy molecule that powers every movement and recovery. Imagine trying to drive uphill with barely any gas. Your muscles sputter, they strain, and they slow down. Legs feel this first. They rely on constant oxygen and glucose turnover. So even a short walk can leave you winded and sore. A study from the National Institute on Aging found that older adults with subclinical hypothyroidism, often triggered by long-term goitrogen exposure, walked 21% slower and were far more likely to report leg fatigue and evening muscle tightness. Then there's nutrient blocking. Kale also contains tannins and phytates, two anti-nutrients that interfere with iron and zinc absorption. These minerals are essential for red blood cell production and oxygen delivery. Without enough iron, your blood can't carry oxygen efficiently. Without zinc, your muscles struggle to heal and rebuild. The result? Slower recovery, frequent soreness, and that familiar tightrope feeling in your legs. And it's not just what kale contains. It's how it's prepared. Most kale in senior diets is either raw, blended in smoothies, or tossed into salads, or overcooked in stews. The problem: raw kale increases goitrogen content. Overcooking destroys water-soluble nutrients, like vitamin B6 and magnesium. Steaming helps, but it's rarely how kale is actually served. Now picture this. You eat a kale salad for lunch. It looks healthy. It feels clean. But inside, it's binding your calcium, slowing your thyroid, and blocking your body's ability to absorb oxygen-building minerals. You feel okay at first, but by late afternoon, your legs feel heavy, your calves start to tighten, and suddenly, the stairs look steeper than usual. That vibrant superfood may have left your legs feeling older than they really are. A 2022 meta-analysis in the Journal of Geriatric Nutrition confirmed that diets high in oxalates and goitrogens, even from vegetables labeled as healthy, were linked to more leg cramping stiffness and slower recovery in seniors over 60. Kale may support heart health in some cases, but for aging muscles and fragile circulation, especially when eaten too often or prepared the wrong way, it acts more like a slow drain on strength. In the next section, we'll flip the page and highlight leafy greens that actually nourish tired legs, restoring smooth motion, reducing cramps, and giving your muscles exactly what they've been missing. Veggie number 1. To eat arugula. It might look delicate, just a few leafy sprigs under your sandwich, or scattered across a salad. But for aging legs, arugula is anything but weak. This peppery green delivers one of the most potent circulatory boosts nature has to offer, especially for older adults facing leg fatigue, tightness, and slowed recovery. So what makes it so special? One word: nitrate. Arugula is naturally rich in dietary nitrates, and once consumed, your body begins converting those nitrates into nitric oxide, a compound that helps dilate your blood vessels and improve circulation. Think of it like widening a clogged garden hose. When that pressure finally releases, oxygen-rich blood flows more freely into your legs. And aging bodies desperately need that. As we cross into our 60s, arteries lose elasticity. Capillaries shrink. That means slower delivery of oxygen and nutrients to your calves, hamstrings, and joints. Over time, this starves your muscles. The result: a creeping heaviness, morning tightness, and stiffness even after mild activity. But here's the shift. A 2021 clinical trial, published in the Journal of Nutrition and Aging, found that older adults consuming nitrate-rich greens like arugula improved their walking speed by 16%. They also reported fewer cramps and faster leg recovery within just 3 weeks. That's not opinion. That's your body responding to real nourishment. But the benefits of arugula go even deeper. It's also a powerful source of magnesium, essential for electrical signaling in your muscle fibers. Without enough magnesium, your muscles can't fully relax. Picture your legs like piano strings. Magnesium is what lets them resonate, instead of locking up. And for seniors, magnesium deficiency is common, especially among those taking diuretics or eating a low-mineral diet. Then there's potassium. This humble electrolyte acts like a pressure valve in your body. It helps regulate sodium balance, preventing fluid buildup that makes your legs feel puffy and sluggish. In older adults with borderline hypertension or sedentary habits, potassium from natural sources like arugula can reduce leg swelling by up to 23%, according to the CDC's 2020 nutrition report. And still, it doesn't stop there. Arugula also contains quercetin, a natural anti-inflammatory compound. Quercetin works like a quiet repair crew. It sweeps away oxidative waste inside your muscle cells and calms the low-grade inflammation that stiffens tendons and slows your recovery. And unlike medication, it does this gently, gradually, without side effects or disruption. Now imagine this. You toss a handful of arugula into your scrambled eggs in the morning. It doesn't feel like medicine, but inside, it's doing heavy work, opening blood vessels, balancing electrolytes, soothing inflammation. After a few days, your legs feel different. Not necessarily younger, but lighter, less stiff, more yours. That's not wishful thinking. That's what happens when the fuel finally fits the engine. So instead of reaching for the next supplement or downloading another stretching app, take a closer look at your plate. If your legs have been trying to tell you something through tightness, soreness, or lingering fatigue, arugula might just be part of the answer they've been asking for. Veggie number 2, to eat broccoli. Veggie number 2, to eat broccoli. Tiny trees. Big support for your joints, muscles, and circulation. You've seen it 100 times on the side of your dinner plate in frozen food aisles, mixed into soups and stir-fries. But you may not realize just how powerful broccoli can be when it comes to leg strength, joint comfort, and even post-exercise recovery. If your knees feel tight when you wake up, if you hear little cracks when climbing the stairs, if your calves feel inflamed after sitting too long, this humble green vegetable might help loosen what's locked, nourish what's dry, and support what's worn thin. Here's how it works, step by step. Broccoli is packed with sulforaphane, a natural plant compound that reaches deep into your joint tissue and shuts down enzymes that damage cartilage. It also calms immune signals that cause swelling in your knees and ankles. Think of your joints like old door hinges. Over time, they squeak, swell, and stiffen. Sulforaphane acts like natural oil, restoring movement, reducing friction, and helping those hinges flex again. At the same time, broccoli delivers antioxidants like vitamin C and beta-carotene. These powerful molecules bind to free radicals, unstable compounds that accelerate tissue breakdown and neutralize them before they cause lasting harm. In one study from the University of East Anglia, researchers found that sulforaphane didn't just block cartilage damage, it also stimulated new cartilage growth, like patching tiny holes in worn-out knees. But that's not all. Broccoli also delivers vitamin K, which helps calcium bind properly in bones and joints. Calcium to reduce muscle tremors and nighttime cramps. Fiber to stabilize blood sugar and ease inflammation at the gut level. Folate to support red blood cell formation and better oxygen delivery. And perhaps, most importantly, it improves endothelial function, the ability of blood vessels to dilate and relax. When that happens, more blood flows into your legs, less pressure builds in your veins, and swelling begins to ease naturally. Think of your blood vessels like a garden hose. If it's stiff or clogged, nothing flows. But when relaxed and clean, every drop reaches the roots, nourishing your legs from the bottom up. In a 2015 clinical trial, published in Arthritis and Rheumatology, participants who ate broccoli 3 times per week saw remarkable results. Joint pain reduced by 29%, leg flexibility improved by 21%, and they recovered faster after light exercise. These aren't small numbers, and they didn't come from pills, they came from food. And best of all, broccoli is easy. You can steam it, roast it, sauté it with garlic, or fold it into casseroles. Even just half a cup 3 times a week can spark real changes in how your legs feel every morning. Because when it comes to muscle health, joint fluidity, and inflammation control, broccoli isn't just a side dish. It's a full-body repair signal dressed in green. In the next section, we'll turn to a leafy vegetable you've probably had in your salads for years. One with a surprising ability to reduce swelling, feed tired muscles, and protect your joints every single morning. Veggie number 3, to eat spinach. It's not just for salads. It's medicine in a leafy form for your legs. You've probably had spinach before in omelets and soups, or as a simple side dish, but you might never have looked at it and thought, this could help my legs move better. And yet it might, because what makes spinach green is exactly what hardworking leg muscles need. First comes magnesium. Spinach is one of the richest natural sources of this essential mineral, which drives both muscular contraction and relaxation. When magnesium is low, legs cramp, twitch, and ache long after a walk or a day spent standing. Think of magnesium as the brake and clutch system in a car. Without it, muscles misfire too tight, too slow, or stuck mid-movement. For adults over 60, deficiency is common. The National Institutes of Health reports that more than 48% of older Americans fall short of the recommended intake, and that shortfall often shows up as leg pain, nighttime cramps, and creeping weakness. One cooked cup of spinach supplies nearly 40% of a day's magnesium, along with potassium to balance sodium and ease lower limb fluid retention. Vitamin K1 to support blood flow and prevent calcium buildup in soft tissue. Iron to deliver oxygen, critical when calves fatigue after minor exertion. Folate to bolster red blood cell formation and nerve health. Spinach also surprises with dietary nitrate, much like beets. Nitrates convert to nitric oxide, which relaxes arteries, increases leg circulation, and eases that tight, heavy feeling that builds up with age. Absorbed through the gut, nitrates travel in the blood, transform to nitric oxide, and tell vessels to open, letting blood flow freely, and muscles recover faster. Picture long garden hoses left stiff in the sun. Nitric oxide softens and widens them, so every drop reaches the roots, your muscles, nerves, and joints. Evidence backs it up. A study in clinical nutrition research showed that adults using spinach-based nitrate supplements boosted leg muscle efficiency by 11% without extra training, simply through better oxygen delivery and metabolic recovery. Spinach's lutein and zeaxanthin support nerve conduction, ease joint stiffness, and shield vessels from oxidative harm, while its anti-inflammatory flavonoids calm swelling in ankles, knees, and feet after long sitting or hot days. Spinach then feeds muscles, soothes the nervous system, and refreshes circulation from the ground up. It's simple to add a bowl of steamed leaves, a handful in soup, or scrambled eggs, even a smoothie with almond milk and banana. Each serving works like a quiet repair crew, slipping in, fixing damage, and leaving legs lighter, stronger, more ready. Spinach isn't just salad filler. It's a green signal telling your legs, we've got you. Let's keep moving. In the next section, we'll pull all three vegetables together into one clear idea: how to use food as medicine, so your legs not only last longer, but feel stronger with every step you take. So now you know. Not all vegetables support your legs. Some, like iceberg lettuce, Swiss chard, and kale, though often seen as healthy, can quietly work against you, draining minerals, triggering inflammation, or disrupting circulation. And yet, with a simple shift, just 3 powerful greens, you can begin to reverse that. Arugula opens your blood vessels and restores oxygen to tired muscles. Broccoli rebuilds your joints from the inside out, calming inflammation and supporting recovery. And spinach fuels your muscles, your nerves, and your blood flow quietly, deeply, and reliably. These aren't exotic superfoods. They're simple, affordable, easy-to-find choices that, when eaten consistently, send a powerful message to your legs. We're supporting you. We're restoring you. We're moving forward together. Because your legs don't just carry you. They carry your independence, your energy, and your ability to keep doing the things you love. So, if they've felt heavy, stiff, or slow lately, start with your plate. Not pills, not painkillers. Just food, real food, working gently in your favor. Because every step you take matters. And with the right support, every step can feel a little easier, a little stronger, a little more like you. If this video helped you understand your body a little better, tap like. And if you're over 60 and want gentle science-backed tips made just for you, hit subscribe. We're here every day with videos designed for seniors in the US to help you walk steadier, age stronger, and feel more in control of your health. You're not alone on this journey. We'll walk it with you step by step.